So the Pokemon World Championships just ended. I just got done watching the stream and seeing all the reveals of what's going to happen over the next year with Pokemon. And today, watching the championship matches, seeing the reveals of everything, like I get excited about those things. And I'm hoping that I can stay excited about the things the Pokemon announced, because if I'm being honest with you, over the past year, I have just been so tired. And when I say tired, I mean in a sense of me just being emotionally and mentally drained. Last week before Worlds, Frosted Caribou posted a video, and the video is fantastic. I highly suggest that you go watch it, and it covers the changes that the Pokemon TCG has been going through over the past year. And that video sparked some conversations with other community members. It sparked some self-reflection for me over the past few days, and I will be echoing some of her points in the video, but I wanted to put a video out of my thoughts just to give full transparency of how I've been feeling over the past almost year, I guess. I want to start this off by saying I love Pokemon. I have always loved Pokemon. I likely always will love Pokemon. It has been an integral part of my life since as far back as I can remember. I have always played the video games. I've been casually collecting merchandise my entire life. I mean, you see the plushes behind me. I play the trading card game within my local community. I travel for this game for regionals and things like that. Well, not this past season, but the season before. And people outside of social media have made me kind of synonymous with Pokemon. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had over the past holiday season with people that I went to high school with, asking what cards they should be buying their kids, or, where they can find cards for their kids, things like that. And like I just said, I love Pokemon. I will always love Pokemon. But at the moment, I don't know if I'm in love with Pokemon anymore. It's not really breaking news that Pokemon's been changing over the last few years, and this dates back to the pandemic, right? Where we did have a scarcity of product because we had all of these investors and collectors coming in around that time. And while pandemic Pokemon was a crazy time for the community, I remember it for a short period of time getting better, and it was back to normal. And now we're back to it being crazy again. And I feel like the level of where we're at right now is significantly worse than we were even during the pandemic. I feel like now Pokemon is more viewed as a investment or flipping opportunity than a game that can be enjoyed with a community. And while rare cards have always been a thing in the Pokemon trading card game, I feel like right now nobody's looking past the $sign. You didn't pull a Umbreon EX from Prismatic Evolutions, you pulled a $900 card. And I'm not even saying that the high price tag on this card is bad, but when a community is using that as the primary descriptor of said card, that's where you kind of see that shift happen. And when this shift takes place, we see the toxic side of the community kind of take center stage. People are seeing people fist fight over Pokemon cards. Businesses and people being personally attacked online, left and right. We are seeing people crash out and throwing cards at Target because somebody's calling them out for buying too many. And from the outside looking in, that's what people are perceiving Pokemon as. And scalping and reselling isn't new, but when it's front and center and openly out there for everybody to see, the chaos just invites misery. And going back to being in the spotlight, we have celebrities and big-time athletes that are pouring money into Pokemon cards and openly calling them investments, saying things like, well, Pikachu can't tear an ACL. And that just brings me back to my previous point of not being able to see past the $sign. You have people with these larger platforms saying these type of things, so of course more people are going to look at it through that lens. And speaking to that, I don't know about you, but over the past year, there have been 9 card stores opening up in Cincinnati, and these card stores don't have play space. They don't intend to run a league or foster a community. They're just a small storefront to sell cards. And how they're getting product is they're going around to big box stores, buying those out, and that's how they're restocking their own store. And we currently have a store in Cincinnati that is selling memberships to people for $60 a month. And one of the perks of this membership is being able to buy one product at MSRP upon release. So you're telling me I can buy a booster box of the last set that came out, and then 3 months later, I can buy another booster box at MSRP, but those 3 months in between those two set releases, I have to pay you $180 to secure an MSRP box. That's weird. That's what? And again, these people aren't even really fostering a community, which do whatever you need to do. I'm not wishing failure on anybody, But when this bubble finally does pop, because it will, there's no way this can be sustained for a long period of time. Really hope that they can adapt and change to the challenges that they will face when this happens. But I don't see this being sustainable for the long term. And I'm not sitting here trying to make this players versus collectors, but what I'm saying is at the end of the day, once the hype is gone, you have a community that's still there if you're doing it correctly. I think a good example of this community mindset shift actually came this weekend at the World Championships in Anaheim. Specifically, all of the issues and drama surrounding the Pokémon Center. And listen, when I went to the World Championships in Honolulu last year, it wasn't perfect by any means, but this year just seemed like so much chaos. Lines were forever long. People were nearly being trampled trying to get into the venue. The fire marshal came and threatened to shut it all down because of all of the crowding around the area. And as this is all going down, my social media feed on every platform is just being filled with for sale posts of people running and buying stuff in the Pokemon Center. Some people not even getting out of the Pokemon Center before they post stuff for sale, but not even making the effort to ship the things that they're buying. They are asking people to pick it up in Anaheim for a higher price than what they just paid at the Pokemon Center. The group Verbank was essentially just a wall of the same copy and paste sale posts for like the first 15 posts on that page. And in Verbank, you even had people selling time slots for the Pokemon Center, which is a completely different beast because now you don't even have to be in Anaheim to scout. Like, where is the line drawn? I've heard stories about how miserable the experience was for so many people this year. And while this is supposed to be a celebration of Pokemon and the year that it's had, it doesn't really feel like that anymore. It feels like more of a celebration of how much money people can make off of this exclusive merchandise. And listen, I'll be the first to admit I'm not without fault here. I've kind of played into the craziness of it all. I have sold cards at these inflated prices. I have traded sealed product for market value for other things. I've promoted like the pump and dump of cards and not even like directly saying to do it, but the fact that I'm posting about it does promote it, which again plays a part into how Pokemon is perceived at the moment. And I tried to just go with the flow. I tried to adapt and I tried to change and just try to accept that this is what Pokemon is now, but I didn't feel great about it. The way that Pokemon right now is being documented and consumed, I just don't enjoy. The other day I got a really good compliment, like honestly it might have been the best compliment I've ever had in my entire life, from my friend Holden. It was in our group message and he just tagged me and was like, "Hey, you're a cool guy." And I said, "Hey, thanks. What do you mean by this?" And he said, "Your eyes sparkle when you talk." And I said, "Hate to double down. What does this mean?" And he said, "You have a genuine fascination about the things that you talk about and you can see it in your eyes." And I like that. And this compliment was so great. I put it in a group chat with some of my family and I was like, this might be the greatest compliment that I will ever receive in my entire life. And one of them said, "Yeah, and that's something that I've admired about you." And it's funny because that's not something that I've seen when you talk about Pokemon for a while now. And they know the frustrations that I've had with Pokemon over the past year or so, because these are conversations that I've just been having in private and talking to people about. And that statement just really made me reflect on everything. Like, am I just a cog in this machine? Am I just putting videos out because it feels like what I'm supposed to be doing? Does everyone else just see me as somebody going through the motions? Do I have passion for this anymore? Do I want to do this anymore? And Simon and I have had a lot of conversations about this over the past year, about how we just no longer feel the same about Pokemon as we once did. And we had a conversation over this past week, and I think he really hit the nail on the head. He said, "You keep saying you miss Pokemon, but I don't think it's Pokemon that you miss. I think it's the people and the connections that you had because of Pokemon. I think you miss the people, not necessarily Pokemon itself." And that really made me think yeah, Pokemon really was just the connector for all of these amazing friendships that I had built throughout the community. And a lot of the people who were originally around when I first started playing no longer are around. We've had families, we've grown, and we're not the same people that we were when we were coming to locals every week, and I miss that. And life happens and things change, and it's just not the same as it once was. And I want to find that spark again. I want to enjoy Pokemon like I once did, But I feel like as I push myself consistently to try to find that spark, that I'm backing myself into a corner with Pokemon being the center of my identity. And everything else that I'm doing and participating in is just a side quest. And doing that has put myself on a fast track to burnout time and time again. So ultimately, what does this lead to? What does this mean? I've always said that if this ever stops being fun, then I'll just stop doing social media stuff altogether. But the thing is, like, I don't want to stop creating videos. I think I just need to look at this from a different point of view. So moving forward, I think I'm just going to start making stuff for me again. I think part of the fun of it before was it was just me, my friends, and a camera. Not getting mixed up in like the influencer side of stuff, right? Like it was just simple. And I think I need to get back to that simplicity. So no, I will not be stepping away from social media and content creation. I won't even be stepping away from Pokemon. I'm just going to stop trying to force myself into that corner. As much as I love Pokemon, I just love trading card games in general. And I enjoy a lot of them. So moving forward, while Pokemon will be a part of my identity, it won't be the only part of my identity. There's no more side quests. There is just me hanging out, enjoying the company of my friends, playing cards. And listen, if you decide that you want somebody that's more Pokemon centric, and that's what you followed me for in the first place, I do apologize. And I would hope that you would stick with me through this new venture, kind of into the unknown, because that's what it is. Like, I don't know what I'll be doing moving forward. Like, it's just going to be me and a camera recording stuff from week to week. I will always be your friendly neighborhood Pokemon professor, but my friends just call me Walt.